Hey nerds, today we're talking about A24's The Drama. And trust me, the title is not an accident. It's well deserved. This is Kristoffer Borgli's darkly funny, deeply uncomfortable, and surprisingly heartfelt look at love, secrets, and whether the people closest to us can handle who we actually are. Does it deliver? Let's break it down right now. Welcome back to the Nerd Social. I'm Nathan. As always, if you want to jump ahead of this intro to my analysis or rating, there are chapter links below. So, The Drama opens nationwide on April 3rd, probably today if you're watching this when this video is edited. Has a runtime of 106 minutes, so pretty short as the modern movies go. Is rated R, and I caught it on Monday in a press screening. As I said, it's in theaters now, and I'll tell you whether it's worth making the trip this week. A spoiler-free logline of this film is a happily engaged couple is put to the test when an unexpected turn sends their wedding week off the rails. There's a logline, and while it sounds like standard rom-com setup, I promise you Kristoffer Borgli is not making a standard rom-com here. The Drama is, as I mentioned, is directed by Kristoffer Borgli, but it's also written and co-directed by him, a Norwegian filmmaker who has developed a reputation for dark, cerebral comedies that skewer polite society from the inside. His previous films, Sick of Myself and Dream Scenario, established him as one of the more original voices working today. This is his third narrative feature, his second collaboration with producers Lars Kunsen and Ari Aster from A24, following Dream Scenario. I'll be upfront, I'm coming into Borgli's work somewhat fresh. So I actually saw Dream Scenario a few years back, and I remember it being a funny but somewhat uncomfortable watch. If you recall, it was the movie with Nicolas Cage, but I actually had forgotten that movie, so I went into this pretty fresh, not really knowing what to expect. I think that actually worked in this movie's favor. The main cast consists of Zendaya. She plays Emma Harwood, a literary editor who grew up in suburban Louisiana and spent her life searching for belonging. She finds it in Charlie and his Boston social circles right up until a night of drunken honesty changes everything. You know Zendaya from the Spider-Man movies and Euphoria, for which she has won 2 Emmy Awards for Best Lead Actress in a Drama Series, as well as for Challengers, a very excellent movie. Definitely recommend that one. And the Dune franchise, also recommend those as well if you haven't seen them. Robert Pattinson plays Charlie Thompson, a British expat and museum curator who has constructed a nearly perfect life and who has idolized Emma as a perfect woman at the center of it. Known for The Batman, Mickey 17, and Good Time. Alana Haim plays Rachel, the maid of honor and Charlie's best friend's wife. Haim broke out as a feature film actress in Paul Thomas Anderson's Licorice Pizza, and most recently appeared in Anderson's One Battle After Another. Her role here is one of the most interesting in the film, and I'll have more to say about that in my analysis later on. Mahmoud Arthi plays Mike, Charlie's best friend, and a steady center of the friend group. Arthi is an Emmy-nominated actor known for Elemental, Archive 81, very good show, canceled too soon, and Kind of Kindness. And finally, Jordyn Curet plays young Emma in a series of flashback sequences set in Emma's Louisiana childhood. I have a photo of her here at the premiere because if I showed any photos from the film, it would spoil the drama in the drama. So she is the film's secret weapon, and I'll be talking about her at length a little bit. So speaking of that, to really talk about this, I gotta dig into the specifics a little bit more. But if you're enjoying the review so far, please like and share. It really helps the channel out. And with that, let's jump into some spoiler-free analysis. So let's start off with what works and what works really well. The premise kicks in far earlier than you might expect. The confession that upends the entire film doesn't sit at the end of Act 2, it actually happens at the end of Act 1. It happens early and almost shockingly. And once it lands, the film does the difficult work of making you sit with it and watch how each character processes it in real time. For me, the revelation was genuinely surprising, and more importantly, it was earned. The scenes that follow it explain and and contextualize it in a way that makes you understand how a reasonable person could carry this into adulthood without fully reckoning with it. So that's good writing. Zendaya and Pattinson are both doing strong work here. Neither performance is too showy, although Pattinson unravels a little bit in a couple of scenes. They're both playing people who are trying to manage an internal crisis while keeping a social face intact. And for Emma, her relationship. Zendaya's Emma is warm and funny and a little desperate in a way that's deeply recognizable. Patterson's Charlie is doing something a little bit subtler here. He's playing a man who generally prides himself on being a good person. And you watch that self-image slowly develop cracks. There's one scene in particular that you'll notice when you see it that cracks that persona. Both of them have individual moments that are well executed. But the performance that kept catching me off guard was Jordyn Curet as young Emma. The film returns to her Louisiana childhood and flashbacks and also dream sequences that function as deeply comedic counterpoints to the adult drama unfolding in Cambridge. Curet is funny, genuinely funny, and occasionally unexpectedly touching. And in a film carried by two of the most recognizable stars working today, she holds her own in the scenes that she's in. Now, Alana Haim, I want to be careful about how I say this because it's actually a testament to the writing and also her performance. Rachel is a character who forcefully rejects Emma in the wake of the confession. She becomes Emma's primary antagonist in the social sphere. Haim plays this with conviction, but what the film is doing, intentionally I think, is building a character whose moral outrage reveals more about herself than about Emma. Rachel is hypocritical and a bit of a bully, not just to Emma, but also to her husband and Charlie. And there's a specific dynamic between Rachel and her husband, Mike, played by Mamadou Arthi, that I found pointed and uncomfortable in a way the film seems fully aware of. Rachel's reaction carries the energy of a white liberal woman whose progressive image crashes into something that tests it. And the way she speaks to and around Mike in those moments has a racial undertone that I don't think was accidental. This kind of social observation Borgli seems interested in, and they gave the film more texture than I was expecting. On the production side, the film is beautifully shot, cinematography by Sani Kachaturan, who worked on Luca Guadagnino and Dea Kalabashgarli. That's a lot of multisyllabic names. He brings a lush, intimate quality to the Cambridge scenes that makes the social world feel both aspirational and slightly suffocating and claustrophobic. The New Orleans flashback sequences have a grittier, warmer texture that contrasts nicely. My one note, and honestly, I appreciate an economically timed movie in an era where we get 3-hour movies, but I think that this actually could have used about 10 to 20 minutes to breathe so that we got a little bit more interactions with some of the other players. It definitely covers what it needs to cover between Charlie and Emma, but I wanted to see a bit more of the fallout in the social circles. That would have been a bit more satisfying for me. But that's a minor quibble. Overall, this film is funny, mortifying, and genuinely uncomfortable to sit through in the best way possible. You're rolling through the drama with these characters, experiencing their reactions in real time, and it's exactly what Borgli seems to have intended. So, in my final analysis, the drama earns a road trip rating or an 8 on our scale, and if you're unfamiliar with our scale, it's down below in the description. It's worth a trip to the theater. The central performances are strong. Jordyn Curet is a name to remember, and Borgli has made a film that will absolutely spark conversation. I really like to have a spoiler conversation about this film, which given its subject matter feels entirely appropriate. I'll add that you don't really need prior knowledge of his work to enjoy it, but I'm sure if you've seen, say, Dream Scenario as I did, you'll recognize the uncomfortable situations he puts his characters in, and by extension, the audience. So, have you seen the drama yet? What did you make of Emma's confession, and whose side did you land on? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this review, don't forget to like and share. It helps our channel grow. Subscribe for more in-depth analysis of film and TV, and I will see you in the next one. All right, guys. Bye.